Cool. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started.
Ooh, Deb says she's working on a JavaScript file for a client.
Oh, fun.
Sounds like a ton of fun. Did you bring us a picture to look at today, Deb? Let's see what she says. It looks like we have some people that brought a few. No, okay. Well, Deb, the whole thing today is it's kind of like a year in review. So what we're doing is for anybody that's watching, we're just allowing anybody to post a link to maybe their favorite image that they captured this year, and we will share a screen from our end onto the Hangout, so it'll be posted through the live feed. Everybody can see it, and you can kind of tell us a little bit about, you know, what inspired you to take the shot, or who was paying you to take the shot, or if you just were inspired by Zeus himself. But it's just an opportunity for people to kind of show off their favorite photo or photos from the year. So I say we kick it off with Ernesto, since he's always the first person in the room.
That's fair. Here it goes.
So so here's what I'll do. I'll go ahead and I'll open up the Ernesto's link here, and then I'll share my screen. So just give me one moment. Share my desktop. Okay. So wow.
Nice.
Ernesto, this is incredible.
Thanks, Gus.
So how many prizes did you? Whoa, sorry. How many prizes did you win at this carnival?
Actually, none.
So tell us about this this shot here.
Okay, well, I took it a couple of months ago at the Volusia County Fair here in DeLand, Florida. It's a long exposure shot. It's one of the techniques that I first learned when going seriously into photography. This was the first time that there was cloudy skies. All my other carnival shots were with clear skies, and I couldn't believe just what I could do with the clouds and stuff. I just used a Lightroom preset to be able to get the shot like this, and I just love doing carnival shots.
Wow, yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of crazy lights going on, and really funny looking people operating different, you know, booths and stuff. So
it really looks like, Ernesto, it really looks like whatever's being spun around is about to fly off.
and take the people with it.
Oh, man.
No, that's fantastic. And yeah, I don't know. I really like the concentric circles you've got going on here, and also just the cloud cover in the background too, and the wide angle distortion and everything, and just, I don't know, it kind of makes me think, you know, it should be on like that Ancient Aliens show or something. Did you know aliens were here 10 years ago back in, you know, Tallahassee at the carnival?
Mm-hmm.
So Ernesto, what time did we talk about? What time of day this was?
This was, I would say, an hour before all the light was gone. This was just after sunset.
Cool. And what did do you remember roughly? Like, did we say how long the exposure was?
Yeah, actually, I looked up the EXIF data before I came on. It should show right there once you click onto it.
Let's see.
So yeah, half a second at f/16, and it was. Nice. I had to have a tripod mounted too.
Yeah,
that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Very cool.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. So, yeah, I feel a bit diminished now after seeing that one. All right, let me unshare my screen here. Okay, so let's see. For anybody that's just now joining, we're doing an end-of-the-year photo review. So if you've got a favorite photo that you'd like to share with us and have it broadcast, you can paste the link in the chat box here inside the Google Hangout, or if you're watching us through our website at Photog TV, you can post it in our live chat box. And since Deb's already over posting her stuff here in our chat box, I'm going to go ahead and click on the link that she posted and share my screen for that one here. So, Deb, what I was going to ask you was, you have the link here, and okay, you said second image down. Okay, so awesome. And just to clarify, is it the shot of the gentleman, the groom? See what she says. Go to your desktop, share selected, and let's go over to see what she says. Yes, so it's the groom shot. Perfect. Wow, that is some incredible natural light you got going on.
Nice.
So since Deb's not actually in the Hangout and we can't hear what she says, Eric, why don't you read what she's saying from the live chat so I don't have to close the window?
Let's see what she says. Image of the groom. Deb, yeah, what can you tell us about this image? This is from a wedding.
I think this was just some guy she met on the subway.
This is... Come stand
For those of you that are not from Austin, you would laugh because Austin doesn't have a subway.
She says she was shooting this wedding with Elizabeth Jane, Liz.
Oh, okay, Liz. Nice.
The Women's Federation. Something I like about this image, and I try to remember to tell people when I'm taking portraits similar to this, is that who was it that was... There was some well-known photographer that was going through images and saying, "You see how these people all kind of squint just a little bit?" And it was a big. I know it was the headshot guy who just came out with a DVD series. I can't remember his name, but he was talking about people squinting. And so if you look at people who at these kind of shots, the ones where they just slightly squint just a little bit and don't have big wide open eyes, tend to be a little bit more mysterious.
Like a natural kind of look.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of like he's smiling with his eyes.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I try to remind myself to tell my clients when I'm shooting them to kind of do the same thing. So that way they're not overly squinting, but at the same time they're not looking at you like with this sort of surprised look on their face. But the thing that I really like about this shot, Deb, is not only the balance of natural light, but I'm a stickler for contrast and white balance when it comes to skin. And I think a lot of times it's something that can easily get overlooked because as we batch process our images from shooting weddings, we kind of apply these overall presets to hopefully lump everything into a general category. So we have to do as few presets as possible. And I feel like because of that, people's skin tones can be very inconsistent throughout an entire wedding day. And so I think that you did a really great job technically on not just getting the white balance right for his skin, but also the amount of contrast that you have on his face, because one of the problems I always see in my own images is if I boost the contrast too much, the skin gets real blotchy. And so a lot of times in Lightroom, it's something that you can boost contrast everywhere else if you want, but at the same time you can make sure that the skin tones are nice and even. But it looks like you pump the blacks just a little bit, which I know I'm getting too technical here, but which increases the contrast without ruining the skin tones. But overall, I think not only is it a really great lit shot, but you processed it really well. I like it.
Great one, Deb. Man, she says it straight out of the camera, which a lot of times the best ones are.
Oh, that's BS. I'm kidding. Okay, so let me unshare my screen again. Okay, so looks like Todd is up next. So I'm going to click on Todd's link here.
Hey there.
And then let's see. So share screen. And all right. Oh, wow.
It's another great one.
No kidding. So Todd, tell us about the shot.
This one's on the 4th of July, or actually the night of the 3rd. And this is in Muskego, Wisconsin. And just, yes, sorry. Yeah, this is in Muskego, Wisconsin.
Whoop, sorry.
It's okay. And we were just having, enjoying the fireworks with family. This is about a 4-second exposure at f10, I believe. And I just set up a tripod on this pier, and these family friends were watching the fireworks. So that's the shot.
Wow. Now, is that
Great.
their breath that I see kind of framing them off to the left? Because it looks like there's a little bit of mist or fog to where...
That's actually the smoke from the fireworks being launched.
Oh, wow.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. I didn't stop and think if it's 4th of July, it's probably warm. It's not cold.
Yeah.
It looks like it'd be a very cold shot, but at the same time, I mean, it's just... man, that is absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
It's a great one, Todd. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Like all the soda cans. Are those soda cans or beer cans?
Those are soda cans. And just to the left of the girl on the left is that's her iPod sitting there, and the one on the right kept texting through the whole thing.
It's like, look up for a minute.
Yeah.
And enjoy this beautiful decoupage of color in the sky. That's fantastic. You know, I would actually go so far to say, Todd, that this could do pretty well on like iStock Photo or some other stock photography site. I mean, this almost looks like it could be some like corporate ad for something. This is a great shot.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let me click back here. All right, so let's see, we've got another link here. Is this one under you, Eric?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna grill Eric now. Here we go.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So I'm gonna share my screen. And click. Got so much going on right now. My internet is super slow. Oh, I love this cover. I love this
Yeah.
one. I remember this one. So
Yeah, it was-
talk to us about it, Eric.
It was it's the guy is Roy Spence. He's one of the founders of GSD&M, which is a big ad agency here in town, and it was for the first issue of Austin Man magazine. And so we had shot a bunch of places over the course of maybe 3 or 4 hours. But I really like this shot because, and on my site there's a version of it without all the text on it. But he's sitting in front of an airplane wing, so they did a lot of work for Southwest Airlines, and so in their lobby at one part is this just huge airplane wing on its side, and I don't know. I like the shot. I was inspired a lot by that point by Dan Winters, which if you've seen his work before, it's got this particular lighting thing that I wanted to try to see if I could do something similar. So it's a there's a beauty or a what was it? Yeah, it was a beauty dish with a grid off to camera right, which is the main light. And if you shoot like that, or if you ever do a shot with a light off to one side, the opposite side of the face, so as you're looking at this image, the left side of the image, his face there, goes into shadow. But usually the other side, the side that's close to the light, does not. And so I had figured out how to get a shadow on that side, and it's basically you do what they call flag. You put any kind of material or something in front of that part of the light so that it doesn't illuminate that side of the face. So all along the right side of the image there, basically what I did was I took a beauty dish and I cut it in half. by putting something in front of it so that the light was hitting the center of his face but was falling off on either edge. And then for a little pop, there's a ring flash on the camera for fill and just a little bit of pop, and that's what gives the, can't really tell it here, but that's what gives the background a little bit of extra snap to it. So it was yeah, I did that earlier this year, and it's still one of the ones I like the most.
Yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite covers you've done so far. Sweet.
That's fine.
Okay, so all right, looks like we've got one from Philip, so I'm going to click on Philip's. Oh, wow. Awesome. Okay, so
Nice.
Philip, tell us about this shot.
Yeah, so this year I spent some time in England, visiting family, traveling, having a good time, going bankrupt pretty much. And I decided to take a 1-week sailing trip from England to Belgium, and this was our 85-year-old captain on the sailboat.
Oh, wow.
And I caught this from, he was kind of camera shy, and I asked him if I could take a photo of him, and he tried to like pose for me, and I waited about 6 hours until he finally forgot that I had a camera with me, and caught this while he was just staring off. Yeah.
That's cool.
And-
So was he somebody that, I mean, his whole career basically was,
Yeah, I think he's been sailing since he was 11.
wow.
Wow, I think
Yeah. Definitely one of my favorite travel shots that I've taken. And that's pretty much all I do. I do photography for fun. So
I really like all the textures that you captured here, and the your choice of contrast for the black and white.
Yeah, that black around him really frames him up nice with that against that light background.
Kind of makes me feel cold.
it was
I need some
chilly.
hot
It was
chocolate
pretty
right now.
chilly there. Yeah.
I mean, we got the veins on his nose and everything. I mean, the guy looks like he spent every day of his life on the water.
Yeah, that's a pretty accurate statement. Yeah.
Wow. It's definitely a Hemingway photo.
Yeah, so this is the business card that I have like Mook with print affinities, so I have like different photos on this. And this is definitely the one people go after. So it's an easy way to find out what people are liking and not liking.
That's great.
Well, I'm glad you like it.
Awesome. Okay, so let's see. Jerry's asking if
Oh wait, you're in some sort of loop thing here with this video. We are going into the Photog TV time machine.
see, Jerry's asking if your studio is in Bee Caves. Who are you asking, Jerry? You asking Philip? Eric.
Oh, hey Jerry. No, I'm location based, so 98% of the work I do is at some place somewhere.
He works out of his van.
Yeah. I do shoots in my van all the time. Down by the river. Pretty old SNL people.
Oh man. Let's see. On our website, on the live chat bar, has anybody posted a link? Let's see. No.
No, Kevin got the down by the river part.
Deb called it the Twilight Zone. Okay, so I guess I'll post my next, or let me see here. Let me pull up my. I was kind of having a hard time debating on what to post because I do a lot of weddings and seniors and stuff like that, but I also do a lot of landscapes for personal work, and I'm just seriously debating on what I want to do. So, okay. All right. So I'll go ahead and show my next one here. Okay. Okay.
Nice.
So can you
What
guys
is
see that
that?
okay? So my in-laws live up in Flower Mound, which is a suburb just outside of Dallas, and they live. That whole area has kind of become this big conglomeration of suburban, sprawl. But their particular neighborhood is really unique because each house has about 2 to 3 acres apiece, and there's no fences, and it was an area that was originally zoned for horse ranching. And actually, some of the people that still live in that neighborhood still own horses. They just roam in their backyard. And this is an old barn that has kind of been, or stable that kind of got converted into like a tool shed or a garage. And this is behind my father-in-law's house. It actually belongs to his next-door neighbor. And I've been playing around a lot with my iPhone, taking pictures and stuff, because I've always been really spontaneous when it comes to just being inspired. And so I saw this, but the actual time of day was I think it was probably about 1 o'clock. Yeah, it was early afternoon, and but it was overcast and it was cloudy. And we had actually, I've been kind of on this kick of taking spooky photos, and so I wanted to kind of dress it up a little bit. So I have I have a couple of apps on the iPhone. One is called Pro HDR, and it's my favorite photo shooting app when it comes
It's a
to
great one.
almost anything, really. If you don't have it and you have an iPhone, I highly recommend that you get it and play around with it. Basically, what Pro HDR does is it brings up the screen as if you were going to take a picture, and then you have an automatic mode and a manual mode, and I obviously recommend that you do manual mode. And it has 2 blue boxes, and each box, you drag one box to the brightest point of the photo, and then you drag the other box to the darkest point, and then you click, capture, and you hold the camera still as you can. Or if you have like a iPhone to tripod adapter, I suggest using that. It'll take 2 shots and then combine the 2. But the really cool thing about this app is that it actually has intelligent software where it will line up the photos even if you're hand holding the iPhone when you take the picture, so it'll line up the shots. But anyways, it's got built-in editing sliders like contrast, warmth, saturation, brightness. So what I did was I captured this with the Pro HDR, and then the other app that I use in conjunction with it is called Dynamic Light. And Dynamic Light basically finds contrast in areas where there isn't, and then so like that's really where it pulled in the detail in the clouds, really making it stand out. And it has various different effects, other filters or whatnot. Like some of them are like Orton, which is one that I'm a big fan of. But this one actually I didn't do the Orton filter on. But once I pulled in that detail in Dynamic Light, then I took it into Snapseed, which, if you guys aren't familiar with Snapseed, that's from ON1, and that's another
that one
really
just-
great.
I think that just got voted like App of the Year by Apple.
Snapseed?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, I thought that was Instagram.
No,
Or
no.
maybe it was Snapseed.
Yeah, it was-
Awesome.
That just hit like a day or 2 ago. I heard that.
Sweet. We'll have to tell Brian if he doesn't already know. But yeah, Snapseed is another great photo editing app. It actually allows you to do local adjustments, like you drag your finger over a certain area and then you can adjust the contrast, brightness, saturation for that one particular area on the photo. But it also has other filters and stuff like grunge or ambience or black and white, stuff like that. So I was just kind of tooling around with it until I found a certain look that I was going for, and just toned it down to basically try to make it look like the moon was what was lighting this barn instead of it being sunlight. And so I don't know, it was just something that this isn't something that I shoot a lot of, but I'm very ADD when it comes to photography. So if I see something and I like it, I want to shoot it right away. And I don't always have my regular gear with me. Like, I don't make time to go out and grab all my pro gear and go shoot stuff. I know other people do that, but a lot of times when I see a shot, I want to take it right then and there, and all I have with me is my phone. So I
That's
feel
really
like
cool. Now,
it's
so of course, Dustin, I'm seeing like this secret landscape slash nature slash spooky photographer in you that wants to get out. Because all the side images you post are in that style.
Yeah, actually, when I was in college, a lot of what I did was landscapes, and I did a lot of work, Holgas, just black and white, kind of grungy, sort of, spooky type stuff. And I grew up reading Edward Gorey, and so I think it kind of influenced my my visual characteristics when it came to just being creative. But I don't know, sometimes I like to take shots where there might be some kind of like a spooky story or some kind of mystery behind it. So
Now, Deb in the chat room was wondering whether or not those apps you mentioned have Android versions. Do you by chance know?
that is a great question, and Deb, I don't know, but the names are Pro HDR, it's 2 words. The second one is called Dynamic Light, and the third one is called Snapseed. So you may want to search the Android market and see if they've got it. If they don't, there might be some other HDR type of apps for Android, but I don't know.
Way cool.
So, all right, who's next? Let's go
Let's see
back
if
to
we're
the
working
time
down-
warp.
Working down the list, it looks like we got Ernesto and Todd have another one, and then I also posted one from Kevin Foster from our chat room.
Awesome. All right, let's check out
There was-
what Ernesto's got for us. Nice.
Thanks, guys.
Another cool one.
All right.
So tell us about this shot, Ernesto.
Well, it was from a photo shoot a couple of weeks ago around here at Stetson University. My model was a classmate of mine when we were both going here to Stetson. She's currently an instructor here on the campus, and we just traveled around campus looking for great places to shoot. This was actually inside a chapel on the grounds, and the pose that she has over there, that was her idea, and I just love it there.
It's very playful, and she's got a great expression too.
Yeah, she does. So, well, I just love it.
What kind of instructor is she? Is she like a dance instructor?
No, actually, she is a instructor in the chemistry lab. Yep. But she's a wonderful soul. I'll just tell you that.
I love the way how that light's catching that foot coming up, and the little bit of shadowing going on that shutter from the window pane.
Yeah. Oh, also, I just remembered, this is one of the chances that I wanted to experiment with window light. It's something that I don't normally use, but just that the window inside that chapel just gave us the opportunity to give it a try.
Oh, cool. So that was okay. So that was in a chapel then. Maybe you mentioned that before. I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
Nice. All right. So
Cool.
let's see. We got another one from Todd. Oh, cool. All right, Todd, tell us about this shot.
This is part of a whole series that I've been working on. The whole series is at the bottom there. Just called Working Hands. And I've been photographing the hands of all different professions This is one of my favorites from the series. This is actually a blacksmith, an actual working blacksmith. Uh, actually, found him at a local Renaissance fair, and here he heated up a railroad spike, and he was turning it into a like a hatchet.
That's cool.
That's a really good idea. That whole project idea, I like that.
Yeah, so yeah, I got like a soldier, a bartender, a couple of guitarists, a cop, and I actually like the whole series, but this is one of my favorites from it.
You could do one that's like Criminal, where it's next to the cop and but his hands are behind his back, handcuffed.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Zip tied.
I asked about that. The cops tend to frown on that. One of the things. Yeah, one of the things I've been trying to do is all the people in this project, they actually, no one's actually like a hand model or anything. They're actually working in the profession that is shown.
So someone would need to actually get arrested, is what we're saying.
Right.
I'll volunteer.
Be like, just make sure you got everything set up the way you want to, Todd, because
Exactly.
it's only going to happen once.
Before they put me in the back of the car, yes. Very cool. I like that, especially like the glowing red spike and everything. That's it's definitely a very awesome project.
Thanks.
Okay. So let's see. Okay, Kevin Foster.
It's cool. Nice silhouette going on there.
Oh wow. So yeah. Let's see. Is Kevin in the chat room?
Yeah, he's saying that this is for you Austin people. It's at I-35 and 290 and 71. Hey, Todd, can you flip that mute on, please?
Oh, sorry.
No problem. Thanks.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh,
As he was
yeah.
driving into work from San Antonio and noticed the guys up doing the construction.
Wow.
What time? What, Kevin? What time?
I was gonna
of day
say,
was
yeah, it's got to be like 30, 45 minutes before sunrise.
It's taken as he stopped at the light on the access road. 6:45. That's cool because it almost looks like they're taking a moment to take in what they're seeing or have a little break. Kind of like the Austin version of that. What was that famous New York picture where they're all sitting there just hanging out on the little steel beam? It was like
Yeah.
40, 50, 60 years ago or something.
Yeah, but don't you have to be on the same level with them?
Yeah, that's
Like, you have
true.
to be
That's true.
up there?
Kevin, yeah, you need to be up there with
I don't think
them.
I could do that. That's a job for Eric. He's our
There you
helicopter dude.
Helicopter or some super large cherry picker thing or whatever that crane looks like behind it. That's great. Yeah, there's a lot of construction going on in Austin.
Well, since
Hopefully they'll look some of that up.
yeah, well, I still like how even though it's a silhouette, you still get just enough light reflecting off the ribbing of this. I guess these are like the concrete pillar casings they use when they're the molds, I guess. But I like how you've exposed it to where you still got some of this light bouncing off of here. It's really adds more dimension to it. It's not just a straight up silhouette.
Way cool.
Well, since you guys are showing more than one, I'm going to go ahead and show the other one I was debating
Oh,
on.
here it goes. Here we go now.
So, I was really having a tough time deciding which one, and
But I know. No, it's not the one I was thinking.
no, I changed my mind. I'm not going to do the bride on the bar. But so again, this one was actually taken with my iPhone again, and and again with Pro HDR, and again with using dynamic light. Except in dynamic light, there's the Orton filter, which I definitely used on this one. And some of you may not know what Orton filter is, but basically you can actually reproduce it in Photoshop. Orton is when you take a layer of your image, you duplicate it, and then you give it a Gaussian blur, but then you also take another layer that's sharp, and then you make them both, you overexpose them, I think, by a stop or 2 stops or something like that. You just kind of play around with it, so that way when you merge them down, they go back to the original exposure. And the idea is that you still have the sharp details, but you have those the details underneath it out of focus, so it kind of creates this glowing, blurry sort of effect to it, just to kind of create just like a glow, I guess. And it doesn't work really well with people, but it's wonderful when it comes to architectural as well as landscape, or especially if you want to really put a lot of emphasis on color. It does a fantastic job of that. Everything just kind of glows from that. But this is actually right outside my house, and every morning when I get up to drive my kids to school, because we live in a valley, a lot of times there's fog or mist around our house. So if I see a shot, and I actually do this almost every morning, if the sun's coming up and it looks just good enough to take a picture, then I'll drive out into the middle of the yard and take a shot. And my daughter's in the backseat. She's like, "Dad, what are you doing? I'm gonna be late for school."
How do you manage to get these pictures of the sun without flare coming right through that lens? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the coating on the glass or something. I mean, some of it does have flare, like some of my shots do, but perhaps it was because I was shooting through the tree or something. I don't know. It's just, I think also this was taken with the iPhone 4S, and I know they have a 5th lens element in it now, so 5 lens elements. So perhaps that helped reduce the kind of floral looking flare that the iPhone 4 was known for. But I don't know. It could also be because I use the Pro HDR app, and so it may have minimized it. But
oh yeah,
I'm not quite sure. But anyways, this is actually one of my favorite landscapes that I've taken so far. So
wait,
all right. Let's see who else we got here. I think we have. How much time do you think we got left, Eric?
Oh, let's see. We got one from Philip here, and then I'd say probably try to wrap up within the next 5 or 6 minutes.
Sounds good.
Oh, or unless we decide to go back in time here again.
I like doing that. It looks cool. Makes me think of Huey Lewis in the News. Okay, so we got Philip's image loading here. Nice.
Well, that's cool.
I like that.
This was the first so this is the first year I've actually owned any special photography equipment, and I bought myself the cheapest umbrella, the cheapest, the Vivitar H285 HV or whatever flash, and I was like, I'm gonna go at this. So I begged my older sister Amy, who you see in the photo, be like, hey, please, like half an hour, let's go out, do a photo shoot. I need to practice on a real person instead of, Coke cans in my fridge. And yeah, so she was willing enough. We were out at a garden here, and it was nearing like 5 p.m. in the afternoon during the summer, so it wasn't really close to sunset, but we were in a very shaded area, and I was able to get the flash umbrella up on the 8-foot stand all the way up to her eye level when she climbed up in the tree, which I wasn't expecting, by the way. I don't tell my models to climb up. Especially my sister. I don't say, hey, climb that tree.
But your sister, yeah.
Yeah, my sister was like, yeah, I'll do that for you. And, yeah. She's smoking she's not actually smoking, but she's holding a pipe.
It's a pipe?
She doesn't smoke, but it's like a decorative, I don't know. fashion is going in a weird direction nowadays. So, yeah, I like it. On the full version, you can see that the pipe is the same color pink as her glasses, and she's holding like a handkerchief, a silk handkerchief that's black and purple. That's the same color purple. So, yeah, this was a crop, by the way. This wasn't the original composition, but I felt like this balanced it out well without having the whole tree in the image.
Yeah, that's great. Where is this at again?
This is in a local garden. I live in central Missouri.
Okay,
And it's just
that,
in the
that
garden
tree.
there.
I love that tree.
Yeah, it has a lot of texture. Unfortunately, the tree and the ground, it was like I don't remember what the shutter speed was, but it wasn't very fast. It wasn't fast enough to get rid of the handshake. Yeah, but you can't really tell because I sharpened it up in Photoshop and did some posts in Lightroom. Yeah,
That's great.
so it's definitely been edited, but not to a large extent.
That is great. I like that.
Okay, that's okay because Deb's already left, so we can just do away with those straight out of the camera great shots.
Out of the camera awesomeness.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
That's fantastic.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, Eric and I have some bad news for everybody. This is the last episode of the year. So we were doing like a kind of like an end of the year recap for everybody, and we have families and stuff that we're gonna be spending time with. So I, for one, cannot convince my wife to let me get away for an hour on a Thursday during the holiday season, unless you guys want to see me next year live. So.
That's cool though. We're playing with some new stuff. We've been doing the live streaming thing as it's been going on the website. So we've got that new format there, and then we're going to look to get these earlier shows posted. Figure out if there's a way I can do like show notes on these episodes and what the next step is to push this up to the next level.
Awesome. There's Destry. She always comes in like right at the last second.
I thought it's at 12, that 1, no?
No, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time.
It's never been at 1. When was it ever at 1?
I don't know.
That's what happens when you have 2 kids, I suppose.
Oh,
I missed
it's
it
okay.
again.
You'll be able to watch it on live stream. They loop the episodes, so or you can watch it through our website. So
Oh, boo.
Destry, do you have a favorite image you were going to post? You're going to share with us?
I don't know. What are you guys talking about anyway?
today's episode, Destry, was an end of the year recap where people could show like maybe one or two of their favorite images they posted or they shot this year. So, do you have a favorite image of yours that you want to share with the audience?
Oh yeah. Hold on. But it's on my Facebook page though.
That's okay. If you can just grab the link and
Yeah,
put it
hold
in the
on.
chat window, then I'll click on it and share my screen.
Okay, hold on. I think you saw it before. But hold on. Trying to scroll down. Where'd that go? Oh, there it is. Okay, I posted. Whoops. There.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen, and then I will click on the link. Oh, that's adorable.
Oh, very cute.
Thanks.
So tell us about this shot. What was
Okay.
going on here?
So this is in studio, and then it's 3 girls and a newborn. And I was just already like, I don't think I got any, I don't think I got any good shots because like the girls just everywhere, And then the baby is being a good baby, so it's okay. And then I was like trying to get, everybody, come here, I tried to pose them, and then they just don't cooperate at all. And then I just keep on just keep on telling them what to do. And I click, and I didn't even know. I uploaded on my computer and I found this pictures. And I was like, oh my goodness. I mean, this is like the perfect expressions of each individual kids. Like, that's how their actually personality kind of thing. So I was like, this is gorgeous. But the thing is, like, their mom dressed them up with like different colors. Like the real pictures has like purple, pink, blue, every colors. But and then anyway, and then so I turned it to be like a vintage brownish pictures, which just turned out awesome because the color, there's no problem with the colors anymore. And that's how I got these pictures. I don't even intend to make this post at all.
This is great. What I love about this is the girl on the left, you can obviously tell she's not happy. It seems like she doesn't want to be doing it. The girl in the middle almost is like not sure if it's okay. She's looking for approval or not quite sure. And then the one on the right seems to be interested in the fact that the one on the left is not enjoying it. Or I don't know. It's just like, little stories.
I just priceless because like the oldest one is like, I'm gonna kill you if you do this or whatever, and then the girls on the right is like, I'll do this, and the one on the back is like, I don't think I want to do this. But anyway, this is like, I love this. If I'm their mom, I'm gonna blow it up and put it on above the fire.
Is the newborn, is it a boy or a girl?
It's a boy. Yeah.
See, that actually adds even more comedy to the shot because it's like 3 girls. Are they all this is all siblings? I take it.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're like, this is a boy. What the heck do we do with this thing? You know?
I know. I love this. Even though, like, I already actually gonna tell the mom. I was like, you know, you don't have to pay me because I don't think I got any good shots from today because they're all over the place. And actually, my backdrop was the seamless backdrop, and I don't have the proper hook for it. It's like fell down on one of the girl, but doesn't really like hit them. But it's just because they were like all over the place. It almost dropped on the baby. I was just like run and just grab the baby right away because it's a huge thing. And I was just, these girls are just driving me insane. I was already like, okay, you know what? If we don't get any good shots, you don't have to pay me because this is like a friend of mine too. Like I don't.
They're like, no, you're gonna cover our hospital bill, is what it's.
I know. I was like, they're gonna sue me because I was like, are you okay? Are you okay? I keep on like, maybe you should check on their back. You know, there is no bruise or anything. I was like, oh my gosh, and it turned out really great actually, and the mom was like happy about it. So anyway.
Oh
That's
my
great.
God, that is! I'm so glad that we didn't end right then. I'm glad we included that. That one slipped right in. Desiree just slid right in under the door.
That's right.
I just post my elf on the shelf pictures, and I was like, you know, I was like, oh, today's Friday is Dustin photo hangout thing, and I scrolled down. I was like, oh my goodness, it's all the way down, and I just ran down to the basement and then just like, you know, join you guys because I thought it's like 1 o'clock.
12 o'clock, and it's usually on Thursdays, and this is
Yes.
actually the last episode of the year. So, because after that we have to spend time with our wives, otherwise we'll be in big trouble, and the show will have to get canceled.
Big trouble.
My husband actually booked a session with me just for me to spend time with him.
That's a good idea. All right, Eric. Well, do you want to wrap it up?
Yeah. Well, thanks all of you for sharing some incredible images today. We really appreciate it, and we will have this episode posted probably over the weekend, if not sooner, on Photog.tv. So if you missed any of the images, you can check them out there. Let's see other stuff going on. We're gonna pick this back up at the beginning of the year, and hopefully get all the kinks worked out with our new streaming thing that we're pushing forward on. And we hope all of you have a wonderful holiday season, and we look forward to seeing you at the beginning of the year. So thanks a lot for stopping by.
Have
Happy
a good
holidays,
New Year,
everyone.
everybody.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, guys.